So, Scorpio, this is your reading for the month of Capricorn, and that means when I look at the moon, I see the constellation Scorpio behind it, and when I look at the sun, which is giving the light to the moon, I see the constellation Capricorn behind it. This constellation exists only once a year, and so the connection between Capricorn and Scorpio is that the water is giving the earth the energy to grow and to be fertile, and Capricorn is giving Scorpio the surrounding, right, to behold, because water in itself doesn't contain itself. It needs a container where we can put it in, and so a lake needs, of course, the earth where it's embedded in. Now, this is the 10th house of social status, and this is the 8th house of reincarnation. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the teacher, and you are ruled by Pluto, the judge. And as you can see, you walking into the right spinning path, because death is, in this deck of Rider-Waite, something that every human has to go through. It's not a left spinning cycle, because the soul doesn't die, right? And so you can see how he is literally walking towards Capricorn, and the energy is that death comes also to Capricorn, the keeper of taboos, and then of course here the final act, right, that everybody has to go through is death, is that huge transformation so that the soul can be free again. So this combination is going to speak to you through this reading. I have here decided to create Lord Nataraj Asana, dancer pose for Capricorn, where the keeper of taboos, the one that shows us that we can liberate ourselves by going through the spine into the third eye, that we're attached to dualities, and that we can liberate ourselves. And for you, I created, of course, Scorpio pose, one of the most difficult poses there is in yoga. The liberation through then here also the phoenix and the new spirit that comes out of us when we transition through death. Your court card is the King of Cups if your birthday is between October 13 and November 12. This is your court card. If not, look in the description below. I have listed all the court cards and its dates, and of course all the cards that I'm using today, including on what position I placed the cards. So you have everything listed down below. You are looking into the right spinning path. The right spinning path is the Earth spinning around the Sun in 365 days. It's the human energy that wants to experience things here in this world and brings that experience to the soul. And the left spinning path is the soul path, which then you get only once a year on your full moon. You get a left spinning reading with all 22 major arcanas. And that's the soul path, and that's the earth while she's spinning around the sun. She does in its own wobble, in its own axis. She spins around to the left, and that spin lasts 25,800 years, a very long spin. And so we call that then an age when we divide it through the 12 zodiac signs, right? Currently, we are in the age of Pisces, going into the age of Aquarius. There are different schools. Some say we are in it already. Some say we're not yet in the age of Aquarius. I always see what the reading does, and I've decided not to have an opinion, neither to the right, neither to the left. I just feel what the cards are telling me, or what the information that comes to me wants to give me. Your last reading, you had Sagittarius Sun, highlighting the Scorpio Moon. And the message is your spirit is rising and you're transformed forever. So you had the eagle and the phoenix rising, which is so beautiful, right? That I have created the phoenix for you, and here came the phoenix and the eagle, and in here the world. A very strong reading was that last time. So let's see what today Capricorn wants to tell you. The social status and the third eye, how you liberate yourself from the things that are embedded in your system through the date of your birth, right? Where were all your planets? Of course, that's something that you should do, so you know where are all the planets at the moment you saw the light here. So let's begin this reading on the position of the Fool, a state of consciousness that's saying, okay, this spiritual idea, this soul connection that is letting me know the Four of Cups, which is of course Moon in Cancer. Now Cancer is opposite of Capricorn, and we just had a Cancer full moon in Capricorn. So I think that full moon gave you the feeling that everything is fine, everything is great, but there is a yearning. There is a feeling of, is this it? And it's really interesting because if you look at this, right, you could say, okay, you have really created here like a strong message. You have the phoenix, you have the eagle, and you have the world. I mean, what else do you want? Well, that's done. That's finished, right? Everything is continuously spinning and turning. And so, like when we spin ourselves, the earth around the sun, when the moon is spinning around the earth, we can recognize that it is a never-ending game of spinning and turning and up and down and right and left. And so here you get the Four, which is the responsibility, taking the responsibility of your emotions, because the Four is the Emperor, and the Four of Cups is exactly the cups that you hold in your hand. The Holy Grail, you are in the middle of the ocean, and you holding a cup here, so then together it makes 5. And so that could also be a certain sadness, right? The 5s are always tests. But here you have the Four of Cups, and there is inside of you sometimes this feeling of, okay, so what else? You yearning for more, and of course God has given you or granted you an extra cup to the Three of Cups that you already have, and you see the Three of Cups and you don't recognize that you actually get an extra cup. But here in this card you see the connection to the Four, the stability, the sacred positionings of a Four, which then creates a sacred geometrical pattern. On the position of the Magician comes the last card of Alberto Villoldo's Oracle, Shamanic Oracle. And the Magician is a shaman. That's why I'm actually using his modern cards on the position of the Magician, because the Magician is that state of consciousness that says, I have the power to recognize all 4 elements on the table, me, myself, the 5th element, then the arm that's pointing up and the arm that's pointing down, so the as above so below, and as below so above, and the infinite 8 above it. You have here the number 64, the witness. So you are witnessing this feeling. This is becoming a 10. a new state of consciousness that can simply witness what is happening here. Is it really a yearning now to feel more emotions, right? Not really being satisfied with what you have, and that is just the yearning for a new adventure. That is just, like I said, the last reading, beautiful, but it's finished. It's done now. This is the new influence in this month, right? You're only getting once a month a reading from me because this is the moment where you getting now the inspiration from Capricorn through the sun to the moon, which is in your sign. And it's happening today, right? So I'm always doing it exactly on the day the moon is in your sign. So you are witnessing something. You're witnessing your state of consciousness, that your soul is literally giving you a push, that there is more and that you are looking for more. And you have understood that because the 1 and the 0 is this 1. Now the next step, a 10, because the 0 is the 4 and there is a 4 inside here as well. So it's a 4, 6, 4. So you already kind of have a 4-4 portal letting you know the number 4, the responsibility or taking responsibility for everything that you experience. No more blaming, finding self-love in the 6, right? Finding the lovers, not the love in another person, but the love within yourself, and then living that in this world. On the position of the High Priestess, which is the state of consciousness that brings the intuition to you, comes the Princess of Wands, and she's the princess of the shining flame. And that's the earthly aspect of fire, and these are all 3 fire signs. So there's a very fiery energy speaking to you, and she is looking somehow up at the High Priestess, almost like saying, yeah, I know you exist. I know your intuition. I know that the intuition is telling you to come into your center, to come and understand that here the Hermetic Tarot used by the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn, formed 1888 in London. And the 3 fire signs are action-oriented. We have Aries, we have Leo, and we have Sagittarius. So there is something speaking to you quite profoundly also through the young generation. Your intuition is saying something that you have to look deeper at, because, I mean, as you can see, this is filled with symbols and signs here. And she's like an Amazon woman. She's like this wild energy, right? This is what all 3 fire signs create when they come together, right? It's really intense. On the position of the Empress comes then Oswald Wirth, the Secret Order of the Rose Cross. Also, this order was created 1888 in France. And they're totally different from each other. I mean, not totally, but the name, the Hebrew name, and the numbers are different from this deck to this deck. Now, Edgar Waite came out of this order and then created his deck. And that's why I kind of using all these different decks, right? Because I want to use them. I don't want to just use one deck. But I want to show, of course, through Edgar Waite, who created the one deck that then became quite famous and the people were able to relate to the tarot since his deck was created. And so I want to use him as this guideline of a path that we're walking, a path that is coming upon us. La Lune, the desire to come out of the deep, deep subconscious, which you can sometimes go deep, deep down. The Age of Pisces, speaking to you, and the moon looking into the left spinning looking almost over to her and saying, girl, I am here for you. Or the generation like, yes, I am here. Recognize the moon, recognize the longing to grow and evolve past these towers. And that the subconscious and that the moon right now is coming up, and that you are feeling this day deep within you that something is speaking to you through Pisces. Maybe there's a Pisces in your life, right? Always have a look around who is surrounding you, who is with you, who is influencing you, who is supporting you, who is not supporting you. And then comes you as a court card, as a state, as a person that can understand now these four states of consciousness. Right? The Fool, this idea, the Magician that now plots how he can make this idea a reality, and the intuition that is helping you to find ways of making this reality a reality, of making this idea a reality. And now the Empress that is literally saying, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to give birth to this idea. And so you are sitting here and looking into the right spinning path and deciding to act upon it, because then comes on the position of the Wheel of Fortune, the new direction, the number 45. And the new direction is 2 stay in this hat and 1 decided to go, to leave. So there are 3 people in here and many, many, many ideas. And you're taking the idea into the right spinning path. Very clearly, this is the number 9, right? The 45 becomes the 9. So there's another 4 in here. You take the responsibility to act upon this feeling of that you are witnessing your emotions, your feelings. The 4, right? And the 4 inside of here. And that you have through the moon a 9-9 portal, the 18, the 1 connecting back to the witness, and the 8, the infinite above the magician's head. So a 9-9 portal is framing you, so it's literally saying, yes, this moon is giving you a deeper understanding of yourself and what still is there in your subconscious, and that you want to shift and rise, and that you want to grow, and that you want to move ahead, that you want to go and do what it is that you want to do. So as you can see, the moon is looking into the left, and here this person is going into the right. So there's a little bit, maybe a little split happening inside of you between the soul and the human desire. Huh? Then on the position of the Hanged Man, it's the pre-stage of the Death card, comes the Jade crystal. And this is literally giving you an understanding that this change, this shift that's deep within you is bringing you now this beautiful jade colored stone. And the jade is speaking to you and is saying the inner treasure, consciousness or plenty, and to recognize that you're more than enough. So recognize that you're more than enough. Recognize that you have the power now to go and take your path. Maybe split from 2 people and say, I gotta go. I gotta do my thing. And then you get, while you're doing that feeling, yes, I did it. I really did it. And then you witness the fact that you did it. You witness that you feel again fulfilled, and you took responsibility over your feelings, and you don't blame others, neither blame yourself, because this is just the growth cycle that we go through, right? The coming and going of the moon, once we see it and once we don't see it. And it's constantly playing with us, but this is the game of life. This is a big game. This is even a quiz. The quiz of life is, all right, where is the next adventure, or where is the next shift or change or reverse? Because this is the position of Jupiter with the legs crossed. Where is the next energy coming from? And then comes on the position of your card, the death card, Hermann Handel, Kali. And Kali is a fire sign, which is Aries. And she is the wildest woman ever. She dances, she's dark, she is the fertile ground. She is that consciousness that we look deep within. She's the big mother where the moon came on the position of the Empress. And she stands and dances, and she's copulating here and creating new worlds, creating new people. And she's the destroyer. She sticks her tongue out. I mean, she is very intense. And this is the most intense and wildest ecstatic energy that we can come across. Almost could, if it's not controlled, become negative. And something inside of you is saying, okay, I gotta release something. I gotta release this sexual energy. And you are the sex organs, right? That's your body part. And you gotta find an outlet to live your sexuality and create through that new dimensions, new moments for you to express yourself. The only thing, just have a look that it's not destroying anything, that it's just you releasing your ecstasy, you're releasing your energy, and you're releasing I am enough. I don't need no one. Very intense, right? Very intense. But I think you understand this card very clearly. Then on the position of the Capricorn comes the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is always moon in Libra. And you already had moon in Cancer, which is the emotional side. But now you have moon in Libra. And the moon in Libra is saying, find, nevertheless, peace within you. Find the decision crossing your arms. And each time when we cross the arms, it means, yes, my right side is connected with my left side of the hemisphere. My left side is with the right side of the hemisphere. And that's creating a union. That's creating a consciousness. And here's also like a crossing through the arms, right? It's kind of, you need to find, this cannot be pushed upon no one. This is an energy that is within you, and you got to take care of that. You got to take control over that. Because, I mean, that's Aries. And Aries is the beginning of spring, and this is where we get sexually awakened. And we need to create the next generation. But deep down in your mind, also recognize that this energy cannot be controlling no one, is not allowed to control anybody. And that also that it's not controlling you. So here comes the Two of Swords, and you gotta awaken and recognize that Capricorn is the keeper of taboos, so you gotta control from deep within this energy. You got to control from deep within your sexuality, because you are the sexual organs. You are la petite mort, which is the orgasm, right, in French. So then comes the lizard on the position of the tower. And the tower is that moment where everything just crashes down and something needs to go. The crown, the ego. That's why you're looking deep within to recognize, okay, I'm going to continue my path. And the lizard is a fire sign. And the lizard is saying, instinctual, sensitive to the subtle and the dreamer, artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. So I think you must lead this sexual energy through a deep look within to a decision that you're making, and then lead that energy forward into a spiritual path. Very important. Otherwise, this controls you. And you don't want this to control you. Because a sexual energy is great, but if it controls you, you do things that you maybe regret later. And also, this is what the Keeper of Taboos is saying, right? Look deep within what is controlling you, and make sure that the dualities here, which is always which creates the tension, is not controlling you. You want to liberate yourself from that. You want to dance yourself up into the third eye. Into the third eye. That's why you're closing both eyes, so that you can be in the third eye, and that you can become more spiritual, that you can become more telepathic and also artistic. So express this energy in an artistic way. Because then on the position of the moon, the last 4 cards now of the 22 major arcanas, you have the moon in your sign right now, right? So you feel through the moon this deep, deep sexual energy. And it's almost like this energy here is where you're sitting on. You have sometimes this dark side in you, and the only reason that you're dark is so that you're the contrast to the white. And here comes the number 6. And the 6 is that self-love, finding the self-love that says the cosmic womb, the divine feminine, is both, can destroy, and she's the Holy Trinity. She can be also the white goddess, she can be the black goddess, and she can be the red goddess. So you really are pushed to go and recognize that this deep, deep energy within you, in your womb, is coming up through a desire, right? Is coming up through this longing, the longing that you already had here, and the longing that is witnessing now this light here. Now the light has become bigger because you're really seeing it with the lizard's eye, right? You closed your eyes. Capricorn said, okay, close your eyes, use the third eye the way I use the third eye. And here is this light, and now we got to see a close-up from this light, because the 6 is in here too, the 6-6 portal. And you have the 666 portal through the jade that is saying, yes, you are worth it. Yes, you are the witness. Yes, you are everything that you ever dreamed of. You are that, but control it in a good way, not in a controlling way, in a way that you are the master over it, that you know that you are the cosmic womb, the divine, and that you're using your spiritual energy to see this, right? To see here, this eye, the witness. Now you get a close-up. You're in it. It's not just anymore a little light here. It's you're in it. And then, even more so, because of the position of the sun, comes then the magic. What are you going to do with this? Now you can control it. Now you can play with it. Very powerful reading, because here on the position of the sun is Capricorn, and Capricorn brought the Two of Swords. Now go deep within and recognize that the two hands are always the dualities that are attached to another, that are attached to this reality. And the only way out is the third eye. So awaken and look deep within and see that you have the power now to see that the cosmic womb, that the light or the dark, it doesn't matter, both of them are necessary here to create new things. And so here your two hands are magic, are creating magic. The number 43, it's the 7, create alchemical transformation. And from 6 to 7 you go up to, again, the lizard, because the tower is a 7. It's the card number 16, calculated together is a 7. So you understand that this is now necessary, because then on the position of the awakening, the wake-up call, the guardian angel that is calling you, you're getting this lovely card. And the card is saying, pitch. Be as clear, concise, and professional as you can be when you explain your ideas to potential associates. So there is something that you gotta see. There is something that you gotta witness. There is a path. There's a new direction that you want to go. And to go that and to work with others, you got to rest in your consciousness, rest in what you are, rest in the power that you have, the creative power that you have. Rest in that you're controlling that you know how to see that deep within, and that you're using your psychic ability, because you are a psychic, you are the mystic, to control and to see that out of the womb everything gets born. And it looks almost like a little bit like the moon, right? That you have the power now to awaken and create something new, manipulate it, and now have the pitch where you are as clear, as concise, and as professional, so that the idea can be brought to potential associates. And then on the position of the world comes the 6 of Pentacles, which is Moon in Taurus. Because Moon in Taurus is then giving you the power to infinitely have a self-love, a self-worth, because that's where we understand the material gain out of this pitch, out of this spiritual alchemical transformation that you are bringing into this world. Whatever you give birth to, right? You use that now wisely with your hands. You use now the healing hands, the power, and then you offer here this little white connection. The witness, the little white dot is now here, right? The white is now here. You're controlling it. You're controlling it with your hands, and then you can offer it to people with your left hand, with your intuitive hand. And then everything is flowing. Everything on the 21, the world sees that, yes, you can even make money with it, because that's why you have to have this pitch. 5, 6. So I have 6, 7, right? So I have 6, 7, and 5, 6. But you have 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 6. 4 times the 6 is the heart in seeing deep within, in your third eye, that everything is just the way it's supposed to be. You see very clearly what you want to bring into this world, what your creativity can bring to this world, also through the young generation. This is fire, remember, and this is fire, right? So it's very clear there's a fire within you that you can handle with your hands, with the 2 palms, and that you want to bring this into the world, and then you can dance. Then you can literally dance like Kali dances and create this crazy energy And people will be excited to be around you and want to be with you, because then you have understood what was missing. Now that you're yearning for more, and here it is, the dance. You want to express yourself. You want to show to the world that you have really understood something. You have become the witness. You have the understanding that deep within you there is a powerful energy that's wanting to come out, and that you're giving it a new direction because you found the self-love, right? The heart in the love in the third eye, 4 times 6. This is your message, right? You are finding through the 4 times 6 the power that the heart is showing you within in the third eye through Capricorn, that you are now tapping into a higher spiritual consciousness. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then turns the Earth in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Aquarius. I'm really excited for that, always, because we have the age of Aquarius coming upon us. And so it's always really interesting what information comes through the sun as the Aquarian energy. And the sun will be 2,150 years long, moving from the moon into the age of Aquarius, into the star, into the sun. The sun will be in the sun. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Wishing you a happy new year 2023, which is a 7, which is your crown. Namaste.